Don't need no other gunman trying to collect.
We don't see no one out here.
Yeah.
She's the best of the lot.
Have you seen enough blood for one night? Huh?
William Munny, a man with 2 young kids, used to be a ruthless gunslinger. After he married, he stopped his violent ways, quit drinking, and gave up other bad habits. His wife passed away from smallpox in 1878. Despite this loss, he tries to support his children by running a small hog farm, striving to live up to what he believes his late wife would have wanted. It is now 1880. In the town of Big Whiskey, Wyoming, a sheriff named Little Bill Daggett enforces the law as he sees fit. 2 cowboys, Davy and Mike, are spending their time off at a brothel owned by Skinny Du Bois. One of the workers there, Delilah, makes a casual remark that angers Mike, who then attacks her with a knife, leaving her face scarred. Skinny and the brothel manager, Strawberry Alice, detain the men until Sheriff Little Bill arrives. The women demand that Davy and Mike be hanged, but Little Bill decides that since they didn't kill Delilah, a horsewhipping would suffice. However, Skinny is more worried about the impact Delilah's injury might have on his business. Consequently, Little Bill rules that instead of a horsewhipping, the men should give Skinny some horses as compensation. This decision infuriates the women, who then gather their money to offer a reward to anyone willing to kill the 2 cowboys. We find Munny struggling on his farm with some sick pigs. It's obvious he's not great at farming since he repeatedly falls into the mud while trying to catch a pig. Amidst this chaos, a young man named the Schofield Kid visits him. The kid knows about Munny's past and wants his help to kill Davy and Mike for half the reward money. Munny declines, saying he's quit that life since marrying his late wife. After the kid leaves, Munny resumes his clumsy attempts at hog farming but starts reconsidering. He tries shooting a can on a tree stump with his pistol, missing every shot. Frustrated, he grabs his shotgun and blasts the can away with 1 shot. Meanwhile, in Big Whiskey, Davy and Mike bring horses for Skinny. The women throw stones and manure at them. Mike shows no regret, but Davy seems genuinely sorry for what happened to Delilah. He tells Skinny that one of the horses is for Delilah and offers it to her, but the women just throw more manure. Realizing he needs help to track down the cowboys, Munny reaches out to his old partner, Ned Logan. He says goodbye to his kids, telling them to go to Ned's common-law wife, Sally Two Trees, if they need anything. After several clumsy and failed tries to get on his horse, he finally succeeds and rides to Ned's place. Sally, sensing that Munny's intentions won't end well, just stares at him silently the whole time he's there. Her glare is so intense it feels like it could be lethal. However, Munny and Ned leave without incident, heading off to find the kid. They eventually catch up with him and realize he has very poor eyesight and can't hit a target beyond 50 yards. The first to reach Big Whiskey for the reward is an old Englishman, known as English Bob. We first see him on a train with his biographer, Beecham. President Garfield has just been shot, marking some months since the initial attack on Delilah in 1881. Bob is giving a lecture to other passengers about the advantages of monarchy over democracy, even though the Russian Tsar was also assassinated that year. When Bob and Beecham arrive in Big Whiskey, Little Bill finds Bob hiding a gun. He viciously beats Bob until he's barely conscious and then locks both him and Beecham in jail. At the jail, Little Bill discredits many of the tales Bob has told Beecham about his adventures. Soon, Beecham gets out of his cell and starts working as Little Bill's biographer instead of Bob's. Little Bill eventually puts Bob on a train leaving town. Munny and his group see the train carrying English Bob as they approach town. A heavy rain begins, and by the time Munny's group arrives in town, Munny is sick with a fever. At the saloon, Ned and the kid go upstairs to hire the prostitutes, but Munny, who no longer engages in such activities, stays downstairs. Little Bill identifies Munny as a stranger in town after the reward money and brutally beats him, much like he did to English Bob, then throws him into the street and sends deputies to get Ned and the kid upstairs. Ned and the kid escape through a window, manage to get Munny onto his horse, and leave town. They collaborate with some of the prostitutes to nurse Munny back to health. By the time Munny has recovered, the rain has stopped but snow covers the ground. In the next scene, the snow has melted, indicating some time has passed while Munny's partners scouted their targets. Davy is seen with a group of cowboys chasing a calf. A gunshot echoes, hitting Davy's horse. The horse collapses, causing Davy to break his leg and trapping him on the ground. Ned pulled the trigger, but now he can't bring himself to finish Davy off. The kid can't see well enough to take the shot, so Munny fires multiple times until he hits Davy. As Davy is dying, he asks for water. Munny shouts to the other cowboys to give Davy a drink and assures them he won't shoot. They comply, and Munny keeps his promise. Ned decides he's done with killing and leaves to go home, but Little Bill's men capture him. We see Ned being questioned by Little Bill. Meanwhile, guards are posted to protect Mike. Munny and the kid wait outside where Mike and his protectors are barricaded. When Mike steps out to use the outhouse, the kid waits until he finishes and then shoots him. However, the kid is horrified that he has killed someone. Despite bragging about killing 5 men before, he admits this was his first and vows never to kill again, telling Munny, "I'm not like you." Munny gives him whiskey, but it doesn't help. A prostitute brings the reward money and tells them that Ned was killed after they found out Munny's identity. Munny sends the kid home with the reward money, instructing him to leave his and Ned's shares with Ned's children and use the rest to buy himself good glasses. He rides towards town, sipping whiskey from a bottle as he goes. Outside the saloon, he notices Ned's body standing in an open casket with a sign declaring that this is what happens to assassins in this town. Munny walks into the saloon, where most of the townspeople are gathered. He asks who owns the place, and when Skinny speaks up, Munny tells the men near him to back off and then shoots him. Little Bill accuses him of being a coward for shooting an unarmed man, but Munny retorts that Skinny should have armed himself if he was going to display his friend. He then tells the men near Little Bill to move away. His shotgun misfires, so he throws it at Little Bill, pulls out his pistol, and shoots him. He also shoots several other men who try to draw their guns on him. Some manage to fire shots, but none hit him. Munny then tells everyone who doesn't want to die to leave, prompting all who can to exit. He goes to the bar and helps himself to more whiskey. Beecham cannot leave because a body is pinning him down. Munny asks for a nearby rifle, loads it, and when Beecham tries to discuss gunfighting with him, Munny's response scares Beecham away. Little Bill turns out to be alive, but as he tries to reach for his pistol, Munny steps on his hand. Pointing the rifle at Little Bill, Munny hears him protest that he doesn't deserve this, to which Munny coldly replies that deserving has no relevance. Little Bill threatens Munny with seeing him in hell, but Munny simply responds with a "yeah" and shoots him. As he exits the saloon, a wounded man moans, prompting Munny to shoot him again. Munny warns that he will come out and shoot anyone he sees, and threatens to kill the shooter's wife, friends, and burn down his house if anyone fires at him. Walking to his horse, Munny encounters no resistance. He mounts his horse and passes by Ned's body, warning that he will return to kill every man in the town if they mistreat Ned's burial or the prostitutes. The closing credits reveal that Munny later relocated to San Francisco with his children, where he thrived in the dry goods business. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Take care.